The little monster tucked away both of his hands, pulled in his dorsal fin, and disguised himself to look just like a puppy. Just then, a little girl happened to come into the pet shop to pick out a pet. The little monster immediately ran up behind her, and put on the cutest face he could muster. The moment she laid eyes on the little monster, the little girl let out a loud shriek. But it wasn't out of fear. It was because she found the adorable little monster way too cute. She decided on the spot to adopt this strange little dog, and even gave him a lovely name, Stitch.
Dogs can't talk. Dogs can't talk.
What the girl didn't know, however, was that Stitch was no ordinary pet, but a terrifying creature of astonishing destructive power. Stitch had been created by an alien scientist named Jumba. His body was not only virtually indestructible, but his intelligence was so extraordinary that even his own creator paled in comparison. And the sole purpose for which he was created was to carry out endless, unrelenting destruction. But because Stitch was uncontrollable and caused havoc everywhere he went, the Galactic Federation finally dispatched an army to capture him, and hauled him before a tribunal to stand trial. Yet Stitch showed not the slightest hint of remorse. He simply spewed his spit everywhere, acting as brazen and defiant as could be. Enraged, the council president gave the order to exile him to a barren desert asteroid, and carry out a humanitarian destruction. However, while being escorted there, Stitch pulled off a flawless prison break.
Don't get any ideas. These guns are locked on your genetic signature. They're not gonna shoot anyone but you.
But he quickly discovered that the rockets would even lock onto his own spit. After giving it a try, Stitch hocked a loogie right into a guard's face, and the next second, the guard was blasted to pieces. Immediately after, Stitch hijacked a police cruiser. Faced with hundreds of fighter ships closing in from all sides, Stitch floored the throttle and punched into subspace, going lightspeed the next instant and vanishing on the spot. The moment word spread that Stitch had escaped, the Galactic Federation erupted into chaos. If he were allowed to land just anywhere, it would be an absolute catastrophe for whatever place he touched down on, and the destination Stitch had set in his flight path was a planet called Earth, a planet whose surface was 70% ocean. The council president learned of this and secretly rejoiced. Stitch was surely doomed now, because Stitch was deathly afraid of water, but she celebrated far too soon. Stitch's ship, as if aimed with perfect precision, crashed down right onto a small island smack in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Furious beyond reason, the council president immediately ordered Pleakley to destroy Earth. But just then, a specialist named Pleakley rushed forward, and insisted that Earth must not be destroyed under any circumstances.
Earth is a protected wildlife reserve. We've been using it to rebuild the mosquito population.
Crikey.
Informing her that Earth was home to a protected species, the mosquito. Left with no choice, the council president changed her mind, and instead dispatched Stitch's creator, Dr. Jumba, along with Pleakley, to hunt Stitch down. At that same moment, Stitch, having just crash-landed, was about to go on a wild destructive rampage. But whenever Stitch misbehaved, the collar around his neck would deliver an electric shock, leaving him frustrated and furious. Suddenly, he spotted a power box nearby. Using the electricity, he managed to remove the collar once and for all, but this caused a massive power outage across the entire island. And with the collar finally off, Stitch was dead set on resuming his destructive spree, only to be knocked out cold by a bus the very next second. When he woke up again, he had already been sent by the driver to the local animal shelter, and it was there that he happened to meet the girl, Lilo. Among all the adorable pets, Lilo picked Stitch out at first glance. Meanwhile, Jumba and Pleakley had also arrived on Earth. Since their appearance was far too conspicuous, they decided to disguise themselves as humans. They put on their molecular disguise kits, highly advanced devices that only needed to touch a human to replicate their DNA and take on a human appearance. But while they could assume human forms, they had absolutely no idea how humans walked, which made the way they moved around quite a sight to behold. After that, they booked a hotel room to use as their base of operations. Jumba quickly grabbed his plasma blaster, opened a portal, and prepared to go after Stitch. But at that very moment, a human happened to witness the entire scene.